you go back to where you were at your lowest point, what was it, or who was it, where were you that helped at that moment in time? Who was it?
Yeah. My lowest point was I was driving up the M1. I had quite a few properties in Luton, and I live, on this side, which is London side, and you go drive up the M1. And there's a point there near the M25. It says 182 casualties. There's a big sign saying 182 casualties, or whatever it might be, something like that. And I thought, you know what? I feel all I wanted to be is dad, be a family man, have a family, a unit, and I failed. Because I realized this was no longer going to be the case. So I failed. So what's the point of me being around if that is the case? Why can't I be another statistic and be another casualty on that board? So I rang up my office, and I called up my assistant. I said, could you just tell me the sum assured of my life insurance policies, please? So I just want to make sure that everyone's okay, even if I'm not there. And luckily for me, she said, look, sir, thank you, but I'm really busy right now. Can I get back to you? I said, of course you can, no problem. But obviously by then that moment had gone, and I, at 70 miles an hour, you're not in that state. You kind of whiz past it, and then you move on. So that was my lowest point in life, and I remember it till the day I die, driving north up the M1. So what was the other part of the question? Sorry.
That's a real story, Mohsin, this one. That really is a part that I feel is so powerful, because it's just a split second, isn't it? It's that moment.
That's what it takes.
Yes, and then you flick the switch, you did something. So that's a communication. You were ringing, about your life insurance policy, and then that document and that idea and that response to that, I'm busy right now, meant that you had to rethink something. So when the second part of that question was, that was the first thing you thought about, who and what. So you were in the car and you were driving, so that was where you were. What was it that helped flick it into a different and what I call a more positive place?
Yeah, because the reason I asked the question was, have I done enough for my children? That's the reason I asked that question. Are those sum assureds enough for them to be okay? Is the property portfolio enough with the rental book for them to be okay? So am I enough? And the answer to am I enough was, I felt at the time I wasn't enough because I'd failed. But had I done enough was the reason I carried on, because I felt I've not done enough. And even today, I feel I've not done enough. And that's what makes me wake up every morning